Hello and welcome back. And in this video, we're going to be looking at spacers. So spacers we've been using quite a lot, but let's talk about spacers because they deserve their own unique space because of all the properties that they have. So spacer, let's create spacer template and talk about spacers a bit. Okay. So what are spacers? Spacers are basically used to fill gaps between views. And they are, if you notice, they are greedy in nature. So as soon as you put a spacer in place, they try to take as much space as possible. And that actually works out for us because we can use them to format the way we want our content to look. Okay, so let's take an example. We create a VStack. And in that VStack, we create a text, let's say spacer, explorer. Okay, and we simply put a font and everything in place so it looks a bit better, or blue, whatever. Okay, let's put an image, and so I want to show you, how spacers actually takes up the space. Okay, so we can have image, and we're gonna use the power of SF symbol to put up some arrows. So arrow up dot circle dot fill. Okay, and then we're gonna have font defined to it with title font and foreground color to be blue as well. Okay, and then I'm gonna put a spacer here. All right, so as you can see, spacer pushed your view or both of your elements out, and it took the entire rest of the space. Now you can have spacer. This is the vertical space, so VStack and spacer actually covers this area and vertically. Now if you have an edge stack, then you can have let's say have another image. So I'm gonna copy this section right here, and I'm gonna say maybe left. Yeah, left. And then I'm gonna put another image, and gonna say this one is right, and gonna put some text in the middle. So spacer and edge stack. Okay, and then we are going to say going to put spacer at the bottom as well. So notice what happens. So spacer took some space here and actually evenly moved our view into the center of the screen. Okay, now you can put spacer between elements to space them apart like that. Okay, and you can also specify a minimum length. So you can say min length, for example, 50. And okay, so that's strange. This should, okay, let's increase that to 100 and 100. So we have, okay, so let's think about it. So we have in spacer, do we need another text? Let's say, let's put another text because let's see how. Okay, so yes, now, this is where I was at. I was like, where did the spacer go? Well, spacer is here. It takes that much space. As you can see, we have this spacer with 200 defined, and you can have this is spacer text. So this area right here is defined as minimum length for this spacer, right? For this spacer to take. So if I say 20, that minimum length is basically that 20 points of space. That's what it's gonna take to fill that space. Okay. Now, reason it was not taking effect, and that's so funny. I was like, why is it not taking effect? Is because we have that enough of a gap that it actually does not reflect that change until we put more elements in place. Okay. So, for example, I can change this to 20, and it takes 20 space, and it moves this spacer away to evenly distribute those two spaces around it. Okay. So you can actually specify the length, minimum length, and that's like most of it that you can do. Once again, like you can have another, for example, image, and spacer can actually help you settle those uh, settle those images basically the way you want to make them feel. But they're gonna push them towards the end of the bound of the screen, and it'll take the entire rest of the space and fill that space with nothing. So that's how actually spacer works. Uh, Once again, spacer is very useful, in creating this flexible layout where you can define, how you want to lay out your component within a container. So it only works within a container, and you can have a spacer basically redefine how your flex space is going to basically shrink or collapse or basically expand in that within given space for a container. Okay, so hope that made sense, and that was it for this video, and I will see you guys in next video. Thank you.